Hello friends, today my thoughts are about relationships and boundaries in relationships. How many times you felt embarrassed because someone intrudes your privacy? And how many times you felt bad when you are forced to say something, when you are forced to say yes, when you strongly felt like saying no? Do you remember instances when you adopted that silence mode, or worse still, when you put on an awkward smile on your face only to cover your angry feeling? They are all instances of violation of your boundaries. Observed, these are the very situations where friction arises between people in a relationship. Boundaries in a relationship means respecting their individuality, not trying to control them, not trying to push them to agree with you when they are not willing to. Respecting privacy basically means respecting their individuality, respecting their feelings, and not showing unhealthy curiosity in their private affairs. Violation of boundaries may mean intrusion of your privacy. It may even mean saying something or doing something knowingly or unknowingly which you are not comfortable with. It may even be deliberately hurting your feelings with a purpose, or maybe even without a purpose, just for their pleasure, which narcissistic people do. When you know that your boundaries are violated, what you will do? Don't expect people, even people close to you or the people you are in intimate relationship with, to respect your boundaries always when they are not guarded. Countries test the boundaries of their neighboring countries to see how well or how not well they are guarded. In the same way, you will always have people who will test your boundaries for their own reasons. However good you are, there will always be one country or one person out there who wants to bully you, control you, and dominate you for a purpose or just for boosting their ego. Countries or people want peace, but you will get peace only when you are fully prepared for war. This is the irony in international relations or in personal relations. So it's not about what others do or do not do. It's all about what you need to do to guard your boundaries, to protect your self-interest and your dignity. However good you are, there will always be one country or one person out there who wants to bully you, control you, and dominate you for a purpose or just for boosting their ego. So it's not about what others do or do not do. It's all about what you need to do to guard your boundaries, to protect your self-interest and your dignity. In fact, maintaining boundaries is not much about the other person. It is about you and your response to violation of your boundaries. Your response can stop the other person and make him or her start respecting your boundaries. Who knows? Violation of boundaries might have started with you. Then mutual violation of boundaries becomes normal and a never-ending blame game. To start with, Don't think only others are violating your boundaries. First, look at yourself, whether and how you are violating the boundaries of your closed ones. Unless you do that, you will never know what exactly means the respecting the boundaries of others. Even if it all started with the other one, it makes a sense to make a beginning to respect boundaries. Don't say why me, say why not me. If you are really interested in the relationship and in peace and in dignity, then what should you do when your boundaries are violated? Outright war? No. Learn from your experience. Boundary violations do happen in some way between the countries on several occasions, but they don't go to war. Make this mantra as the sheet anchor of whatever you say and whatever you do in your life and your relationships. You won't disturb the other's peace, but you will not allow the other to disturb your peace. You will not violate the boundaries of others, but you will never allow the other to violate your boundaries. Peace with dignity is the mantra for enhancing the quality of our life and the relationships in our life. Make this mantra as the sheet anchor of whatever you say and whatever you do in your life and your relationships. You won't disturb the other's peace, but you will not allow the other to disturb your peace. You will not violate the boundaries of others, but you will never allow the other to violate your boundaries. Then what should you do when your boundaries are violated? Outright war? No. Learn from your experience. Boundary violations do happen in some way between the countries on several occasions, but they don't go to war. Appropriate response is the key. When India faced a terrorist problem from a neighboring country, we didn't go to the war. We made surgical strikes. Remember that. Appropriate response came after decades of inaction, which encouraged the neighbor to such an extent that he dared enough to make a terrorist attack on our parliament. Similarly, if you ignore small violations, this would encourage others to do more and more, because they don't have the fear of consequences. Show them the consequences by your silence, by your words, and by your actions. Apply the same rules in maintaining your personal boundaries in any relationship. To draw your boundaries, first you need to know what you want and what you don't want others to do to you. And more important, the why of it. Then you start implementing the strategy of making the boundaries known to others. Here is how you go about maintaining your borders or boundaries. To maintain your boundaries, you must first draw them and let others know those boundaries. To draw your boundaries, first you need to know what you want and what you don't want others to do to you. And more important, the why of it. Then you start implementing the strategy of making the boundaries known to others. How do you do that? This is not a list of things to announce in public, right? Then how do you do it? Tell them. Whenever a situation arises, by your silence, by your words, and by your actions. Don't be rude. Tell them politely. as politely as possible. Wait for one situation when your boundaries are violated. Then you don't miss to announce your boundaries, and thereafter never hesitate in any occasion, any situation to stand on your boundaries, and don't hesitate to let them face the consequences of violation. One consequence for sane people, it works. They start respecting your boundaries. But there are others who don't care your words. So you reply them in the same coin. It can be by hitting silence or some surgical strike like words or actions. May pass a sarcastic remark to keep them in their place and let them know that you are silent, not because you don't have the words to use, but you don't want to hurt them. If they still persist, next time you tell them to keep away from you. If they don't or can't respect you, remember one thing: relationships are never ruined by a third person. A third person interferes with your relationship because you have not drawn the boundaries with that person, or you did not let the other person know those third person know those boundaries, or you allowed that third person to interfere or violate your own boundaries. It is your fault. Anger is a sign of weakness. It shows your inability to respond properly. Try always to keep your response appropriate so that you don't give a chance to others to find fault with you. Still they may find fault. That's not a problem. You should not give a chance to find fault with you. That is important. For this, follow the proportionality rule. That is, consequences in relation to or in proportionate to the violations. That is appropriate response. However, don't worry if sometimes your response is more than necessary. After all, you are learning. It's not your fault. And let them face a bit more of the consequences for their own fault. No problem. More important, don't look back. Do not withdraw. Just as each unanswered violation encouraged them, now each response, each consequence make them alert and behave with you properly. You will see the change now, how the same people will treat you now with dignity, with respect. You may think guarding your boundaries will alienate all people and make you lonely. Not at all. In fact, what happens is exactly the opposite. When you send a clear message of what you want and what you don't want in a relationship and what your red lines are, then by drawing healthy lines, they help avoid needless friction in relationships. You are allowing those only who respect your boundaries and your relationship, and filtering out those that are not wanted in your life. Remember, we want good relationships. Sometimes we even allow persons to visit our personal feeds like a foreign dignitary in our country. But it is out of our choice, not compulsion. Boundaries don't limit your relationship, in fact, they enhance it. If still some people cut you off, don't bother. It is for the better. And for your peace of mind, no price is too high for living with peace and dignity. Even love never demands surrender. Real love is not real love and not cinematic. No one is perfect. Then how can you expect the imperfect persons to be perfect only in respect of love? Impossible. No one is perfect. As long as the persons and personalities are not perfect, boundaries are bound to exist for healthy relationships of your respect and dignity. If someone says there are no boundaries in love and relationship, don't believe. They are wrong and only trying to manipulate you. Finally, your people are truly those who respect you, your thinking, and value as a person. They are ready to be with you and they don't have any problem with your boundaries. They may as well disagree with you on many things, but they do it with respect and dignity. That's all I have to say today. If you like it and find it useful, share it with others. And if you want to know more of my thoughts, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.